Have you ever felt like your body was just working against you? Like, no matter how hard you try to feel better, something always keeps pulling you back into symptom management. Well, if that sounds familiar, you're definitely not alone. Most of us out there have been taught to see symptoms as something to fix, a problem to just suppress, or something to just push through and pretend it's not even there. But what if that perspective is actually what's keeping us stuck? What if your body isn't broken and it's actually just trying to communicate with you? Welcome back to the Health Bridge podcast. I'm your host, Holly B. I help women with chronic health challenges reduce inflammation, restore their energy, and reconnect with their body so that they can actually get back to living the life they're meant to live. In today's episode, we're going to explore a really powerful reframe, one that has the potential to completely shift how you relate to your symptoms and your body and to the healing process. So be sure to listen to the end because we're going to answer the question, what is your body actually trying to tell you? And how do you start listening? So before we dive in, I'm really curious, when something goes wrong in your body, what is your first instinct? If you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and leave a comment and let me know. I know a lot of people, their first instinct is just to try to fix it, to jump on Google and figure out what's going wrong. A lot of us, our first instinct is to just push through. And I'm really curious what your answer is. So please put that in the comments if you're on YouTube. I do read every comment and will respond as well. So, several years ago, after I'd already been dealing with chronic fatigue, a weak immune system, and eventually a lupus diagnosis for years, I finally had a moment of clarity where I realized that there was something really uncomfortable that had been going on. And that was the realization that my body had been trying to get my attention for a really long time. And I had not been listening. I had been ignoring it. I kept trying to push through when my fatigue symptoms would crop up or when my immune system would go out of whack. I would push through all the stress that I was under. And I would just tell myself, it's okay. I just need to try harder. I just need to get through this. I just need to finish that. And then I can rest. But at some point, I realized that my body wasn't failing me when it was putting me through all of those symptoms and challenging me. It was actually trying to communicate with me in the only way that it could. So today, I really want to explore a different idea here, which is what if your symptoms are not actually the problem? What if they are actually the message? What if your body didn't actually betray you when your symptoms became loud? What if it simply was turning up the volume to try to get your attention? The body has one primary job, and that is protection. It's like having our own team of Secret Service agents. So, just like the Secret Service, your nervous system is constantly scanning for signs of safety and signs of threat. Safety, threat, safety, threat. And when life becomes chronically stressful, a few things happen. Okay. The nervous system shifts into survival mode. That is your sympathetic nervous system that controls your fight or flight responses. Then the immune system becomes reactive. So your inflammatory response is triggered. And then energy is directed away from your body's ability to repair. So your body can no longer get easily into the parasympathetic nervous system, which is also known as rest and repair or rest and digest. That is when your body is calm and can heal from anything it's gone through. So this process that is triggered can show up in the body in many different ways. It might look like fatigue or anxiety or inflammation, brain fog. It might be physical pain, joint pain, digestive issues, hormone dysfunction. There are numerous studies that have shown really strong connections between chronic stress and immune dysregulation. One that I'll just highlight here as an example is from the International Journal of Molecular Sciences. It's called Chronic Stress and Autoimmunity, the Role of HPA Axis and Cortisol Dysregulation. It says the HPA axis dysregulation under chronic stress constitutes a critical mechanistic link between psychological stress and autoimmune disease. So, when your body is symptomatic, your body isn't actually malfunctioning. It is trying to adapt to unfavorable circumstances that it's been put under from this chronic level of stress. Lucky for us, our body actually has a very simple communication model, but it's so simple that we can often brush it aside and not realize that we need to pay attention. So, this is what I want to cue you in on here. I call it the 3 C's of body communication. The first C is cue. It's that first subtle signal that might be tight shoulders, or it might be poor sleep when you normally sleep very well. Might be a little bit of irritability. That is the first sign that something might be amiss and that we need to pay attention or shift something. The second C is a call. It's a louder message. It might be fatigue as opposed to just being tired. It might be some symptoms that are now recurring, not just a random one off. And the third C is crisis. This is when we hit burnout, we break down, we receive a diagnosis. This is when your body hasn't been listened to during the first and second C, and now it needs to yell to get our attention. So, crisis signals usually start as a whisper that wasn't listened to. So, now that you have some context for this, I want to ask 2 questions. First, if your body had a microphone right now, what would it be trying to say to you? Think about that for a minute. Second question, where in your life might you be overriding a cue? If you're on YouTube, I would love for you to comment your answers in the chat. It can be as simple as dropping an emoji or just a couple of words to get context. And if you're just listening to this at home, take a moment and really reflect on this and maybe jot it down in a journal or, on your notepad on your phone so that you can come back and reflect on this. So now that we have kind of a new understanding of symptoms as a communication tool, we can start to develop a new working relationship with and a new respect for the intelligence of our body. So, for me personally, for years in my healing journey, I was always chasing my symptoms, right? Trying to fix something so that I could get back to normal. It's like if I could find the right herb or the right supplement or the right practitioner or take the right course and learn how to do it myself, then I could fix my symptoms and life would finally go back to normal. And it really wasn't until I learned that symptoms weren't my enemy or something to numb or to fix or ignore, but they were actually an indication to get curious and go deeper in order to heal and shift things at the root of the issue. That was when I started making shifts in my healing journey. So I really invite you to get curious by acknowledging your symptoms and shift your approach. So instead of asking, how do I fix this? Ask, what is this protecting me from? Or what does my body need from me right now? You can use 3 really simple steps here to walk you through this when something new pops up. Number one is to pause before pushing. And this just gives you the space to notice the signal, right? So notice that first whisper that your body gives you. Number two is to get curious instead of critical. So use this as an opportunity to ask questions. And then number three is respond gently. We don't have to go at this at full force. Small adjustments that respond to a situation instead of react build trust with your nervous system. And when we have trust with the nervous system, that is when we can shift more easily out of the fight or flight and reduce that inflammation response and allow our body to stay more in that parasympathetic state where we are resting and repairing. When we stop fighting our body and fighting all the symptoms that come up and viewing them with an aggressive stance, something really amazing can happen. And that is we regain clarity, we regain our energy, and we regain self trust, which is truly the most important part of healing. I just want you to remember that your body has been on your side the entire time. The question is, are you willing to listen? If this episode resonated with you, I want you to take a moment and ask yourself, what is one signal that your body has been giving you that you are ready to start paying attention to? Because healing doesn't begin with doing more, it begins with listening differently. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with somebody who needs this reminder and make sure that you're following the show so you don't miss any future conversations like this one. And if you're someone who's been doing all the right things, but you're still not getting the results that you want, and you're ready to explore a deeper, more root cause approach to your healing, you can apply for a free healing breakthrough session with me. The link for that is in the show notes. Thank you so much for being here. Remember to be gentle with yourself and keep building your bridge back to health. I'll see you again soon in the next episode of the Health Bridge podcast.